Floyd Schofield's dominant performance over Tevin Farmer may not only be contender for knockout of the year, but also one of the most significant fights or performances in the division. So here we're going to be taking a look at some all-time great flaws and skills of Tevin Farmer and talk about how Floyd Schofield was able to take advantage of them. Number one, here he is approaching the line with his hands down. This means that when he gets on the line and takes that first step on the line here, he's going to make an attack, and this is basically to control space. Notice he didn't even look to hit him or land the shot. It's just to get a reaction from him. But if we take a look at the frames before, if he triggers Floyd Schofield into doing anything while his hands are down and he's exploding, especially with an attack that's not meant to land or disrupt his opponent's position, even if he does land with a shot that he's not intending to land, it's not going to have any power into it, which means that it could be best for controlling space, which means that if Floyd Schofield makes an attack at the same time by freaking out, here he comes, and he punches, right? If we think fight or flight, that's his decision-making process, right? He goes, and punches at the same time. Maybe it's a left hook, maybe it's just straight right hand. He's going to come out ahead 9 out of 10 times. No, almost 100 out of 100, right? If he makes out, especially because the thing that he's attacking is a feint or a probe, right? It's just to get control. Now, he's going to do the same thing here. He's going to get on the line here, and he takes a big step here. Now, notice that's a move. He had to do that, and Floyd Schofield immediately starts reacting to the step on the line. Again, he could be punching here, right? Again, his opponent entered the line with his hands down, and now he's making an attack. And again, it winds up being at a predictable pace for Floyd Schofield to be able to pick it off because he can see him stepping onto the line. Now, all-time great flaws, right? Number one, always stepping. In this scene, we saw him stepping with his jab right there. If you always have to step with your jab, you're going to have problems. Okay, you need to be able to control space, especially if you're not looking to score with it, right? You need to control space, or you need to set up other punches. Number two, no head movement, right? Being very bladed. Live by the blade, die by the blade, okay? He enters the line here. It makes it very obvious where his head is going to wind up being. And even though he does cross the line here, you can feel and feel all his rhythm and his pace, his weight coming to the line when he gets on the line with the first step and then he throws the shot. It becomes much easier to see what he's doing or feel what he's doing. But because he's always bladed, it's predictable. It winds up being very, very, very predictable, okay? Now, we got the next clip here. Nope, this is not the right one. We don't want to look at that one yet. I want to take a look at this one. So he's getting on the line here, and notice he's going to go first with a stepping jab, and when he goes first, what is Farmer's reaction? Take a step off the line. So if he throws a punch right here, a follow-up shot, he's going to be out of range. Now, a few things we want to pay attention to, all-time great flaws. Again, Tevin Farmer has his hands down. If he jumps on the line against another athlete, he runs the risk of getting punched in the face. What happens? Why do you feint your opponent in the first place? Why? Because you're afraid that if you did anything else, your opponent might have punched you in the face. So you're going to get on the line with your hands down, and you're going to elicit a reaction that you're expecting a punch to come back. That's why you're doing it. And you're going to do it with your hands down. So he does it with his hands down, okay? Comes in, stepping jab here. Now watch, he doesn't move off the line here. Watch his back foot coming in here. He doesn't move his head at all. Now again, he's going to come here, put a little bit of rhythm, cross the line, tiny bit, okay. Stepping jab again, boom, comes forward. Now again, look at where his head is. Okay, didn't really move after that beat. He threw a shot right there, boom, and then didn't look to get off the line. What's the other very, very common reaction from your opponent if you throw a punch at your opponent? And you hit him, say you hit him square in his eye, bah, right? Well, mama didn't raise no sucker, so you're going to punch him in the back, right? You're going to punch him back, right? Not punch him in the back, but you're going to punch him back. Common sense dictates, right? So you just stick your hand out and you hit the guy in the face after he threw a punch at you. But notice, there's no post-punch defense after he throws his stepping jab that he enters the line. He's bladed. He enters the line. His head doesn't move. He's not crossing the line. He's coming straight in. His hands are down, and there's no post-punch defense. All of these are all-time great flaws, all-time great mistakes, okay? Now, throwing a stepping jab here. Again, controlling space. Now, Floyd Schofield comes back onto the line the next beat. He throws his 1, throws his 2. He might be getting him here, but notice he's not getting him super clean. He's not hurting him. Again, being the one that goes first in this sequence, Tevin Farmer has a little bit of time to get his head out of the zones and just move just a little bit out of the way of the oncoming punches from Floyd Schofield as Floyd Schofield explodes, right? Now, I just want to point out when we take a look at this, right? No head movement from Floyd Schofield as well. He just comes straight in, 1, throws the shot, makes it very easy to react to all the things. It's all the same flaws, right? It's the same exact thing we see here with Tevin Farmer that he's doing. Okay, now what winds up breaking the pattern? What fixes it, right? Well, here's Tevin Farmer. He's going to get to the line here, and he feints him here. Ooh, again, feinting with his hands down. Then he moves off the line. Now Floyd Schofield's going to feint him. Ooh, gives him a little bit of that Roy Jones thing, right? A little bit of that hands down, little chicken dance thing. What, right? Now, Tevin Farmer, again, doesn't have any head movement. His feints always wind up the same way. He's bladed, this, and that. He's going to jump on the line with the feint. And this is right after their little chicken feint. He feints, I feint. Now he's going to feint again, and he gets suckered into it. And when he feints, he jumps in, controls space with a shot that doesn't look to disrupt his opponent's position. It's just looking to control space. It's not a real punch. He doesn't move his head when he does it. He's stepping. He's bringing all his weight. He doesn't have the intention of leaving the line after. All of these compile into a lot of known information for Floyd Schofield. And he's wind up able to time him, come in with his own stepping shot, 1, 2. Again, right over the fact that he has no hands up, right? Every time he gets to the line and he does anything there, he's susceptible to that punch because there's nothing in the way, right? Even if he does feint, right? Even if this was a feint, right? It doesn't matter because his hand is not going to be up to protect his face in that moment anyway. So if Floyd Schofield times the feint correctly, he can throw a rear hand. He can throw a hook. In this case, he chose to throw a stepping jab. The fact that there's no post-punch defense means that he doesn't look to intend after getting controlled or getting hit with the stepping jab that countered his feint. So he's there when Floyd Schofield throws the rear hand and drops him. Beautiful boxing. Now, again, when we get back to the first little clip here, when we have Shakur Stevenson here, all stepping jabs, right? How he's looking to get on the line. This is a very, very, very significant skill, having the comfort to punch with your opponent, especially because that's exactly what De Los Santos would not do with Shakur. He would not punch with him the few times that Shakur would open up. He would move off the line and disappear. Now, I think that Shakur Stevenson, I think Floyd Schofield deserves a lot of credit for knocking out Tevin Farmer. If you don't think so, how about you go fight Tevin Farmer? Tevin Farmer is a tough guy. Williams Zepeda fought and couldn't knock him out twice, and this guy did it in under 90 seconds. You know, the fact that Floyd Schofield gets on the line and he throws big, hard punches. He's looking to hurt you, and he can do it pretty easily. You know, I think he's going to be a huge threat to Shakur Stevenson. In fact, I don't know where Shakur Stevenson goes anymore because all the easy fights, right, all the weight bully stuff, it's done. You're the champion. You have to start fighting the other guys who are trying to work their way up and be champion. The other guys who are weight bullies. The other guys who are big and strong for the division. You got to fight them, or you got to move up and fight bigger guys, right? Are you going to move up and fight who's at 40 right now? I mean, I guess a lot of those guys. I guess Keyshawn Davis. But anyway, I thought it was actually a pretty good performance from Floyd Schofield. He jumps on the line right after that and just batters Tevin Farmer. But Tevin Farmer, you know, if he's that easy to figure out, he had no shot. You know, if it happened in the first 90 seconds, he's just going to get dropped every single time he gets on the line. That looks like something that would happen, you know, every single round. It doesn't look like Tevin Farmer could possibly make any adjustments to escape. And it makes me wonder what Shakur Stevenson can do, you know, being how explosive he is. You know, the other thing is also Floyd Schofield doesn't look like he's the kind of guy that knows how to take it easy. He's barely good enough to do the things that he's doing, let alone do them in front of someone like in front of Abdullah Mason if you're not trying to just knock him out. Like in that sparring session. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. But if you're not going full retard and you're not trying to get real value out of it, and you're not trying to, the things that Floyd Schofield's doing and the things that he's good at are going to be more difficult to do slowly against somebody, again, like play sparring. Not that he's play sparring or whatever, but if you're not going full max intensity, Anyway, Floyd Schofield, if you need a sparring partner, my guy Eddie would love to get in the ring with you. You guys are very, very similar size. And I think my guy would beat you up. It would be great sparring. He can go orthodox. He can go southpaw. Yeah. Also, I haven't been doing as many videos lately. Eddie had his second fight with me last weekend or 2 weekends ago. Last weekend in San Jose. And it was pretty good. We won. We got a third round TKO. Couldn't get film of the fight. They went on intermission and they were on fight 8 and we were fight 16, and then when they came back they were like on fight 11. So I watched like 2 fights, and then all of a sudden they're like on fight 14. They just cut a bunch of bouts out. So it was a huge rush. We didn't get to warm up. We were like didn't even throw our first warm up punch until like the round fight 15 was like almost done. It was just such a crazy rush. But anyway, we got the win. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm excited for Shakur versus Zepeda. I'm not sure what I'm expecting yet. I do think Shakur has the potential to put on a fantastic performance against Zepeda, and like the kind of like, I don't want to say like, he might bring it out of him. He might make him do the performance of a lifetime, and I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is ready to fight for 36 minutes, hard, use a lot of energy, and like, I don't want to say go to war, because he won't be getting hit a lot. He'll be getting hit sometimes, but it'll be him pot-shotting and running. But Zepeda will put the pressure on. It'll be a tough fight. He'll work hard. Like Floyd Mayweather when he fought Jose Luis Castillo, that's a hard fight for him. That's a hard fight. It wasn't an easy fight for him. He fought all 12 rounds. Arguably lost, arguably won, depending. I mean, if you're liking a little bit of the pity pot, stuff that Jose Luis Castillo was doing, maybe you'll give it to him. But anyway, but this fight's really important for the division. It's really important for Shakur Stevenson's whole legacy, because if he loses here and then he winds up losing to Floyd Schofield, or he loses, because like just like Devin Haney, like he's not a draw if he's losing, right? You have, in order to keep that style going, you just have to win and like move up the ladder, and people have to be forced to fight you. If you're losing, nobody's forced to fight you. Nobody will fight you unless you pay them a lot of money, and if you're paying all your opponents a lot of money, you're not making a lot of money, right? I mean, maybe you're still making some money fighting George Kambosos in Australia. But anyway, notice he fought George Kambosos twice, didn't fight Lomachenko twice. But anyway, yeah, also, if you guys are looking for coaching, check out the Discord. There's over 100 drills. Or if you guys want full fight film studies, check out the Patreon. All the film studies are going to be on the Patreon as well. Or all the film studies are going to be on the Discord as well. As well as, over 100, coaching videos. Tons and tons and tons of training videos. People sending in videos. Bunch of pro fighters. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and again, all the patterns and stuff that you need to avoid winding up, running around with like you got sugar in your gas tank, like Floyd or like Shakur Stevenson running around, doesn't have any idea where to start with his offense against a good puncher, doesn't know how to step around and circle his opponents. He knows how to challenge them and beat them on the line. He's fast, but it's those kinds of problems that led to him arguably losing that fight. In my opinion, he did. But all the stuff, if you see on my channel, I'm pretty critical of people. If you want to learn all the patterns and stuff and all the ways to not have those flaws that I accuse people of having, check out the Fouts Boxing Academy, the Discord link below. Yeah, thanks, guys.